We are now going to recognize when an equation is quadratic in form. And a quadratic in form equation is when we have AU squared plus BU plus C equals 0, where U is an expression and is the same in these cases. And so the real key factor here is that this power is twice this power. And if that's the case, then it's quadratic in form, and we can use quadratic methods to solve it. So we're just going to talk about some examples. So let's start with the example x to the fourth plus 2x squared minus 8 equals 0. And this is quadratic in form because on our degrees, the 4 is twice the 2. So what we can do is we can let our u be the smaller of the two, u squared. And if I take that and I square both sides, then u squared is u squared and x squared squared is x to the fourth, which means I can rewrite this. Wherever I see an x to the fourth, that becomes a u squared. And wherever I see an x squared, that becomes a u. And I now get a quadratic equation which I know how to solve. Well, we can do the same thing with something that's a little bit trickier. Suppose we have x plus 1 over x squared minus 6 times x plus 1 over x plus 8 equals 0. And again, it's really important to notice that we have this x plus 1 over x is the same, and the power, again, is twice. So I let my u equal the smaller power, and when I square both sides, I just get x plus 1 over x squared is the same as u squared. So this whole piece right here becomes a u squared minus 6u plus 8 equals 0. And I have found a quadratic in form equation, even though the inside part is pretty ugly. It doesn't matter, it's still quadratic in form. The last one that we're going to look at, suppose we have x to the 2/3 minus 7x to the 1/3 plus 6 equals 0. And so since I only have an x with a power, I'm only going to look at the x with the power. And notice that 2/3 is twice 1/3 because 2 times 1/3 is 2/3. So we let our u equal the smaller one. And when we square both sides, we get u squared equals x to the 2/3. So this becomes u squared minus 7u plus 6 equals 0. And that's how we identify whether something is quadratic in form or not.